the boundless landscape of dreams. Remember this truth.
Say it, little fella.
If you can dream it,
Come on, I know you got something good.
you can achieve it.
You're so right there.
The key to your own success is helping others reach their dreams. In giving, you shall receive all you desire in life.
So my son's a genius.
Not really, I just think a lot.
Yo, hello, and welcome back to the SURP Show. This is a podcast presented by Robert Glover and myself, Robert Glover III. Yeah, this podcast is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so I hope you guys enjoy. Today, we're going to be getting into a lot of good, interesting topics, so yeah, just buckle up and get ready for it, you know? So recently, we're just gonna start off with like a little life lately. I told you all like how I've been transitioning, which is good. Not in any like, that's not a good word to put it. I've been going through a lot of different phases of life and just progressing as a person. So my perspective is awesome, changing, being described as something new, which is good, and you never really know like what your true perspective is going to be on things when you initially go into them, but eventually you kind of find out like this is what I want to do and this is how I want to do it, so I got to put myself in the right position to make the right decision to make sure that all this is calculated correctly. I mean, some people don't think that deep, and it's not even thinking deep. Some people just don't think like that, and they just think like, oh, you know, like, I'm just going to do this, and it'll work. But, like, sometimes it doesn't. And here's an example of when I thought I was thinking calculated, and I was like, this will work out. But it failed me. So I told my class, I had famous connections, and the teacher has been giving the class lectures on social media ever since. Like, this is no joke. The first day, she's kind of like, what'd you guys do this summer? And I'm just like, you know, naming off like people that I talked to over the summer. And this lady, like, she went AWOL from there. Like, she got, like, I don't know. She's like, what does he do? What does she do? And I was just like, ugh, this is tough. So now class has been tough. Like, it's my only in-person class. Like, it's tough. Because I'm at a smaller college, so it makes it like where people are like, oh, okay. And now the class has become super biased and nothing is in favor of social media people. That's what I mean by famous people. I should have said social media people, but I said famous. Same difference. They're famous in their genre. But I'm just saying, like the connections I told her in the class about, like out loud in front of like 30 people, she was like, what? I'm like, yeah, like, this is some simple stuff, you know, nothing too fancy schmancy. And she was going at it with me from that point forward. Like, she's like, one day we did an example the other day on like, how many people do you follow on Instagram? Like, that was one time we talked about social media ever since. But it's like a communication research. So like, it's not supposed to be about social media, but like, she's been making it about social media. Like, she's like, people are deceptive online. They don't tell you who the real them are. You wouldn't know. How many of you raise your hand? You feel like you're being decepted by. I'm just like I don't want to be the odd man out. Like, I know what I said the first day, but no one's really deceptive, so I'm just gonna raise my hand so I don't look like the only one that just raised their hand. like, it made me think like, fuck, dude. Now I have to go through this. Like, She's like, one day she split the class down the middle. I was like, okay, go to this side if you believe this about that. Go to this side if you believe that about that. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a long semester, and it, in fact, has been a long semester. So like, it's kind of sad to see the older perspective on things, which is like, they don't really care about social media. They just don't. But I thought it'd be cool. Like I at least thought she was like a Facebook mom as a professor, like someone that just gets on Facebook and just yaps. But no, it wasn't that. It was something completely different than what I expected. Like she literally doesn't. Some people in the class don't even use like Instagram and stuff. So it made it like, like how can I relate to this class without coming off like an asswipe? Cause I literally dress like this. Like this is $136 tee I want. Not a lot, but it's vintage. It's one of one, and I'm like, I wear these type of clothes. She's like, they're pushing their agenda on you and this and that. I'm like, agenda? Like this is hard. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm being singled out because I said what I said on the first day, and I was saying I'm too cool for nothing. I'm just a guy living the American dream. Like at the end of the day, like. You should not get ridiculed for the decisions you make. I mean, you can, but it's just like, why? Why am I getting ridiculed for these decisions? It was just a decision to say that I do this and I enjoy doing this. Nothing like harmful, I guess. So like with that, I'm gonna dive into like my favorite famous actors. So. That's just like a little sum up of what I've been going through these last few months along with the other stuff, but we're just going to let that pass over. I'm not going to let that affect me. It's kind of random, but I just wanted you to know, like, this is what I've been doing. I've also been building a brand behind the scenes. Like, I could give you guys a little scoop on that, but I just feel like we're just progressing. I don't want to give out any insider information that's not supposed to be given out to the public. So, yeah. With that, we're just moving forward and progressing with the brand. I'm trying to turn it into like more of like a one-on-one thing where I'm only selling like one design one time. I like Cole Bennett's method of that, like with his brand that he has. It's really cool, and I think that'll like not, I think it'll cut costs for me, honestly, for me personally. I don't know what other people do with their time. But I just know for me, I feel like that would cut costs, cut time, and make it something that's more original than trying to mass produce like designs over and over again. Because people are getting, like I can kind of see, like people are probably gonna get tired of it. Like, there's like it's a money grab. When it's not a money grab, this is a personal brand of mine. Like these are personal brands that I enjoy creating designs for to put them on. Like. If I wanted to, I could close them down and just do what I have to do and maneuver on. But like, I'm just patiently going through life as it goes. So, yeah. So like I was saying, my favorite actors. When I think of my favorite actors, I think of comedy. I don't watch a lot of movies. Like, my favorite movie is The Wolf of Wall Street, or Pineapple Express. Like, those are probably my top two movies. The Big Short's pretty good also. And yeah, This Is It is like on the come up for me, like is one of my favorite movies. Like if you've ever seen that movie, that's a good movie. And that transitions into like where I'm going with this. So my favorite actors are James Franco, Miles Teller, Bradley Cooper, Jaden Smith, Mike Epps, Jennifer Aniston, Robert Downey Jr., Denzel Washington, and Eddie Murphy. That list right there, I feel like is my favorite group of actors. I wish they'd make like a movie together. I feel like it'd be really good, but the budget be out of this world. Like James Franco would be like the funny guy, or like Robert Downey Jr. would be like in his Iron Man suit. Like it'd be good. It'd be a good show. Like a good show, maybe a movie. But like to start off with, like James Franco. He's my favorite actor simply because dude is funny, bro. Like, dude is funny. That kind of ties in with like Mike Epps. Like they're so funny. Like James Franco is funny in every movie he's with. So Seth Rogen in. It's like if those two are in the movie, those two are gonna have me dying laughing. And like I think of Mike Epps from Friday. Like Friday is a classic. You can't beat Friday. James Franco, he's good in like The Neighbors, This Is It, Pineapple Express. Like James Franco has a catalog of funny movies. Miles Teller, I like his War Dogs movie. That movie's really freaking good. Like I like the ending of it, how they become arms dealers. I don't want to spoil it, but like it's really good. And Bradley Cooper at the end of that movie, he sells it all. And he's in that movie. I like Bradley Cooper from The Hangover because like that was like my dream, like getting a group of friends like that and just like going to Vegas and doing what they did in The Hangover. Like wake up and be like, bro, what happened last night? Like that's so dope to me. Jaden Smith, he is just so talented. Like talent wise, he's just so talented. You can just tell by how he just carries himself in a movie. When I was young, I loved the Karate Kid that he made. It was really good. Him and his dad together in a movie, you can't beat it, man. Those movies are great. But like Jaden Smith is like a standalone actor. I know he does like a lot of other things, but him as like an actor is that's prime time. That's literally you can't beat it. Jennifer Aniston, she's just like a MILF. Like I don't know if she's actually got kids, but like she's like just literally like my celebrity crush. Like I would do anything. Like she's just like she's always like the spicy one in a movie. Like she's always so spicy. Like she's just a really good actor, and she puts down like some good stuff. Like she's in The Neighbors too. I'm pretty sure Neighbors 2, and it was like really funny. It was her, James Franco, and Seth Rogen. That movie was hilarious. She has some other good ones too. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I don't have them on the list, but like, yeah. Robert Downey Jr. He is like a really well-rounded actor. I like him for his Superman movies. Iron Man was a classic. Like every Iron Man that he's made has been a classic. I'm like Jarvis, no. Jarvis, can you hear him? Like when he has to get that circle part taken out of his chest, that's like the saddest. Like he does so well at just acting that out. Denzel, Training Day, man. Like that's like a hood classic. You grow up, you learn like, man, if you want to be a cop, you better watch Training Day if you're black. like it's so true. Like I learned like, dang, that's what cops do. Dang, Training Day, like. Training Day, bro. That movie's so good. It's like Denzel has some other good ones. The one where he's like doing the life of Frank Luther. That's a good movie. People have suggested that movie to me, and I've like, just give me a chance. I'm gonna watch it eventually. I want to see what it's about. You know, like I want to see. Eddie Murphy. He's just made some really good movies, from Fat Albert to Coming to America. Those movies are really like touching. Someone that's a part of the black community, the African male community, the African community, like that. I'm not African, but it's something as an African American like you probably watch, and you just can enjoy it. I don't know if my predominantly other audience have watched it. But I think it's really good. Like it's a really good movie. We watch that movie every Christmas. Like we don't watch like Elf or something like that. Elf's a good one. Like some people that got snubbed off this list though are like Seth Rogen, because I know everyone loves Seth Rogen, but I mention him, and Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell's funny as fuck. Like Will Ferrell was funny as fuck. I can't lie about that one. He is so funny. But like his jokes are like kind of for like an older audience. Jonah Hill also got snubbed. Jonah Hill's funny. You can't forget about Jonah Hill. Man, but they weren't on the list. I had a 9-person list. I missed one because Jordy didn't want to tell me one. So see what Jordy, I'm out for you right now. I'm a little upset you couldn't come through and clutch it. So you guys, just look out for him. Hopefully he can come through and help on the next one. So with that, I want to take you back a while. Like I went to an entrepreneurial school. Like I know school's been the subject in this one a little bit, this pod, but like I went to an entrepreneurial school. That school really taught me how to become like an entrepreneur. We had like classes like health and wealth. That's like one I can remember. Accounting and finance. Like we were doing a lot of like advanced stuff while I was in college and high school. So I was a pretty educated person. I just don't act like it at times because it's fun to act dumb and it's hard to act smart. It can be easy, but it's fun to act dumb and it's hard to act smart. I'm gonna vape. I'm sorry. I vape. But like at that school, we had a politician as a teacher. Yeah, a politician as a teacher. I'm not gonna say his name. I don't want to ruin his image for my image. But he was super cool. Like he taught us about the American dream. Where I mentioned that earlier, that's where I learned that from. The American dream. He taught us that like the American dream. Like we did a whole project on it. Like as freshmen, I was like, dude, this is so complex, and you're just coming out of 8th grade, bro. Slow it down. I know I have a younger audience too, so this will connect to them. I don't know if they listen to the pod as much anymore. I know this is more for my adult audience, but just if you're an adult, having a politician or someone that's like moved up in the world after they taught you something is a really great example of like the higher learning that you did at that point in time. Like we were doing like YouTube projects in school. Like one day, like he's like, yeah, bring your Minecraft in and make a world. Like it was weird. Like we did a lot of cool stuff. Like he's the one that really got me into like social media. I remember like we had a friend that SoundCloud raps, so he still does to this day, but he's like on streaming services. Go check him out. I might link him in the description. I might not. But like he was super cool, the teacher was, and like now he's like a politician in the state. I've had like one now. He's doing like super big things though, like just one politician as a teacher. And like I think he's like really good. I think it's great that he taught us so much about life and then went on to do that. Like it's a perspective I wasn't aware of until it happened, and now I'm like, dang, like you can really pivot from being a teacher to a politician. You just have to build yourself up in the community, which is similar to social media, but social media is like you have to genuinely build up that community and stay consistent. And life can be filled with many adventures, so staying consistent is just all part of it. I mean, you can consistently go on adventures too, so like don't let the adventures take you off of that part of being consistent. I had a friend tell me like his parent told him one thing. He's like, man, just be consistent. That's like key. I hear that so much now. It's like, dang. It's like, that's so true. And I know my classmates have something to look to too from back then. Like they came up in like a different place than I did. So it was like, you know, they have something to look to as like, dang, he really set the precedent to like what we could do from being a small town school to big. Like I live in the city though, so like it's a lot different than going to another city to make it seem like, you know, like dang, he really did that though. I remember like he's just like, Robert, you're not much of a talker, man. Just get out your shell. And I was like, you know, like I'll do it eventually, but just right now, this high school stuff isn't for me. Like I'm focused on college. Like in high school, like I think it was my sophomore year. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm focused on college, but everything else will just fly under the bridge. Like I'm focused on college, and once I get out of college, then I'll focus on the job. once I get out of that, focus on retirement. Like if it works out like that, ooh, sweet. But you know how life is. Can't really plan it. It's cool though to see that he is a politician now. I should shout him out. I don't know if I can. I don't want to like intrude on his political connects and network that he has going for himself. But I thought that was like something that stuck out to me. So yeah. To get into our digital product review today, I'm gonna start off with the Nintendo Switch Lite. I got one recently and it's so nice. It is so nice. Like, I was planning on it for a while. I was like, dude, I want to switch. I want to switch. I remember during like quarantine when I was starting to like stream and stuff. My friends were like, bro, we're hopping on Switch. I was like, why are you guys not playing PlayStation? We just got PS5s. Like, they had theirs for like 2 years before me. And this is like when I was just like starting out on Twitch again. I had started way back, but like this is when I was like growing on social media rapidly. When you guys became part of the family, something I could look on to and say, I have another extended family out there too. But it was like, dang, like the Switch, bro. Like I never thought about it until recently, and it just like it really got to me. And I was like, dang, the Switch is nice. Like everyone's like, you can't really play any games on it. I hope they get Madden for it. That's like my only personal downfall for it. Is like you can't play Madden on it, but it's a really good console that you can play on, and like just stream the games that you like. But yeah, I think it's a really good console. Thanks for, I had to fix that, but yeah, I think it's a really good console. And it's a handheld gaming console that was released by Nintendo, and this is a rundown of it, in September 2019. It's a more impactful and budget-friendly version of the original Nintendo Switch. Designed primarily for portable gaming, here's a review of the Nintendo Switch, highlighting the key features and online and overall presence. Design and build. The Switch is smaller, lighter than original Switch, making it extremely portable and easy to carry around. It's a unbodily design, but built in controls so it cannot be connected to a TV. Like a standard Switch, the device is able to have various colors to suit personal preference. I have a blue one. The design is a feature of a 5.5 LCD touchscreen with resolution of 720p. While it may not have the same screen size and resolution as other highlighted high-end gaming devices, the design is vibrant and it looks good. Yada yada yada. The smaller size also contributes to better probability and portability. The performance, it uses custom softwares and everything. Like, it's really nice. It's really nice. It has a gaming library that you can use and an eShop where the games are very, very discounted. Like, they're discounted so regularly. I bought like 5 games in a day. Like, I've never done that with a console that I've had besides the Switch. It's like, dang, I want this game. Dang, I want this game. Dang, this game, this game, this game. And like, it worked out well. Yeah, there's a lot of good features on it. It has online features. But yeah, I think it's a really great console. And like, lastly, I personally am someone that would buy the Switch. It's great. It's great. Sorry if the light keeps flickering. Something's happening with my circuit right now, and I've been trying to get it to work. But if you can't notice it, thank you in advance. The lighting in here is terrible right now, but we're working on it. As in me. So yeah. So like with that, my future plans is like LA dreaming. As you can see, things are like rapidly changing in here too. Like I'm trying to shoot the pod, and the lighting is fucking up, which is typical, but it happens in a video or in a pod. You know, it happens. But for my audio listeners, you probably don't even notice, and I'm just making a bigger deal out of it than what it is. So thank you for just listening, But I'm typically someone that's LA dreaming. I've been LA dreaming ever since one of my family members moved to New York. They're like, yeah, we're gonna move to New York. Then they moved to the next city I wanted to move to. And I was like, dude, like, where can I move to that you guys haven't been? Like, one of my extended family members, they moved out to LA, and then, like, they're doing phenomenal out there. But, like, I wanted to move out to LA just because of, like, content creating. Like, in 2020, I realized, like, I was like, if I didn't move, like, I wanted to move to New York, but everyone's like, a lot of people have always said, like, it's my second place city. It's like, for me, it's like you're not a hustler. You're not built for New York. Man, I'll put on that. I'll put on all of that and get out there and get that money. But everyone says like that. I'm like LA. They're like it's too expensive. Yada yada yada. But honestly, I'm someone that is really determined to make it to LA. Like I live like a few states away, but it's a while away, and I just think it's like great to like have those dreams. Like that's why I think LA, because I'm more chill too. Like everyone says like I'm not a hustler and I'm more chill. Well, that's where the laid back vibes have been at forever. Like you know, like I don't really see myself going to some states just because of like the culture difference. But LA, I feel like the culture out there is like very inviting. It's like, oh, you do that? Me too. You do that? Me too. You could go into a coffee shop and like have like a sit down with like a stranger and they'll be like, yeah, I did some content creating. Whereas like any other state in the US, it's like, or even city wise, they're like, oh, you do that? My homie, he rap, bro. Put him on. I'm not a rapper though, bro. Let him get on a pod. Like this is a solo pod, bro. Like you know, it's just like you have all those things that like work against you. But in LA, I think at least I've never been to LA, so like they say always visit the place that you want to move to. But like, shoot, I see enough of it, and like it might not be as pretty as it is on cam, but it just seems nice. I know there's like crime out there. I saw what happened to the Colorado boys. Just don't be flashy out in LA, and I think you can make it. Like I'm someone that'll live in a studio. I'll live in anything. I mean, I can get a house, but I definitely, if I ever thought about getting a house, I'd probably want like a group of people with me. I don't want to. I would like to be tied down, but like being single and just having a group of friends that live in a house with me, that would be dope. Like that's like something I dreamed of, and it almost came true this summer. But I was like, no, like some people didn't want to do it, some other people wanted to do it. I probably could have did it, but like people weren't on the same page, so it kind of flopped. But yeah, this was a bonus episode, by the way. Thank you for your time. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the pod again. Let's run it up again together. Like we're back in gear, we're back in motion. This pod, I don't know when it's gonna drop yet, but it is coming. So yeah, thank you for your time. This was the SURP Show by Robert Glover. I'm out.
I'm not planning for my future, I'm just winging it. It's up to you, so just tell me if you're coming with. You saying